I'm Wendy, a Literacy How mentor, and I will be demonstrating the word function sort, which can be found in the Literacy How Syntax Handbook. The purpose of this lesson is to have our students think about the job or the function of words in their sentences. Today, we'll be working on the namer and the action and having our students figure out whether the word that we're asking them to read is a noun, a person, place, or thing, or is it an action word, a doing word. I have chosen words out of a decodable text. So that means that this is a stage 1 lesson. A stage 1 lesson simply means that all of the words that I've chosen, I know that my students can sound out. And this would be in preparation for my reading a decodable text with my students. So the primary purpose is to think about the function or the role of these words, but it's also good to have our students read these words again and again before they get into the connected text. It's also good for working on some vocabulary. It will also give them an idea of what the story will be about because of the words that I've chosen. So I will be using a decodable text called The Bad Hiss by Jill Lauren, and is part of her whole phonics decodable text series. So here I have 2 headings here. I have my namer heading, which are my nouns, person, place, or thing. Make sure that you do a nice job of setting your students up for what namer means. You are naming something, so a person, a place, or a thing. If you feel like this label isn't going to be enough information for your students, please do draw a sketch here or use some hand signals or gestures to help your students remember that namer means a person, a place, or a thing. And then our action word is our doing words and our verbs. So I've collected a stack of words here from my decodable text, and I'm ready to go. So I would show the students exactly what I want them to do. They would get this Post-it note. I would show them how I could sound it out, b, a, g, and then read it fast, bag. And then I would have to think about, is that word a person, a place, or a thing, or is it an action? So I would slide this word over here underneath the namer because it is a thing. Here we have the Post-it note sat. Once again, this time after showing them what I mean by this lesson, it might be a we do. So I would have us all sound out this word, sat, read it fast, sat, and then decide where it goes. Is it a person, place, or thing? Is it naming something, or is it an action word? So they would decide that sat is an action word. And then I would give them each a Post-it note and give everybody an opportunity to sort out, to read and sort the words between the namers and the actions. So here we have the word web straight from the story. It's a namer. I would slide it over there. Here is another word from the story, hid. A student can decode it and then decide it's an action and slide it over here, and so on and so forth, sorting out the various Post-it notes. So I want to show you what is fairly typical in decodable texts is that many of the words could be multiple meaning words. And in fact, there are several in this story. And one of them is the word rocks. So we would have a student decode the word rocks and decide, are we thinking about rocks as a thing, where we would slide it over to the namer? Or somebody might come up with the idea that rocks is an action word. So please do be prepared to add some more sticky notes and to celebrate that our students know that there is more than one meaning for the word rocks. So like, grandma rocks my baby brother to sleep every night. Same with the word bugs. Some students would read that word and decide that we're talking about the insects. So we would slide it under the namer column. But another student might say, hey, wait a minute. My sister bugs me or annoys me all the time, bothers me. So do have a Post-it note ready to type in or write in the bugs and celebrate that your students know that bugs could have more than one meaning. After you finish sorting the words, please do have them read all of these words over again for extra rehearsal. And then also read all of the action words for extra practice. If time allows, you could do a little bit of an extension activity by adding the word the on a Post-it note and perhaps adding a period on a Post-it note, and then having our students build a super simple sentence using the word the and choosing a Post-it note from the namer side. So we might have the pals, and then choosing a word from the action column and building this very simple sentence, the pals hid, and then adding a period here. So this is a great activity to work on namers and actions, the functions of words in sentences, and at the same time, add more rehearsal for the decoding of these words, and then showing them how we can build very simple sentences, selecting a namer and an action from each column.